Today I'm going to be teaching you about personal branding. Personal branding is key to how you grow your Instagram and all your social media pages generally. It also helps send your brand message out without anyone mistaking what your brand stands for and represents. How do I brand myself in such a way that I'm visible to my target audience and I'm visible to the brands that I'm trying to reach? Everything you need to know about personal branding I'm going to be teaching you today. So let's jump right into it. First off, what is personal branding? Personal branding is sending your brand message out with a clear definition of what you stand for without anyone mistaking what you are about. So the first thing to personal branding is understanding what social media page works best for your brand. So why I say this is because it's not every social media page that works for everybody. Sometimes we just open random social media pages just because everyone is on that platform. But we cannot be as effective because it's not really where our brand message will be very well passed across. So for instance, if you're a model or you're into beauty and fashion, I would think that your brand message will be more visible on Instagram or Pinterest, on pages that people can actually see what you're putting out. But if you go and then you're on Twitter all the time, in as much as you can engage with words, it's just not as engaging in comparison to Instagram where they can actually see the outfit. But if you're a writer, for instance, Twitter is a very good platform because then Twitter is where you can post words that are captivating in short words and people are like, yo, who is this person? So you just need to understand what platform works best for what you're trying to put out. Understand where to focus your energy the most, building on the engagements that you have on one particular one. So for me, I started off with Instagram. I built my Instagram to a very good extent and then I used that engagement to draw people to my YouTube and to my other platforms. That's a better way to grow your page and grow your social platforms and also your personal brand, as opposed to trying to start everything all at the same time, because then you're not focusing on anything and then you're not giving anyone your particular, your all. So when you want to start, pick one or two platforms that you feel like, okay, these platforms are the best platforms to send out my brand message, and then from there just build up. From there, just keep building up. You need to understand what's your brand identity. Understanding your brand identity also helps you know the kind of content that you curate and the kind of content that you put out. Because if you do not understand your brand identity, you're just going to be putting out random stuff, and that's not going to target any particular audience, and then you're not attracting the crowds that you want to attract. And once you've been able to figure out what your brand identity is, are you a fashion person? Are you trying to put out more on fitness? Are you trying to put out more on beauty or business? Whatever your brand represents, understand that and understand your niche and create content in that regard. Being very relatable is very key into building your personal brand. People need to be able to connect with you. People need to be able to understand what you're trying to send, what message you're trying to send to them. They need to be able to connect with you as a person and as an individual beyond just posting content. Understand your brand message. Your brand message helps you reach the right crowd of people. Brand perception is very key in how your brand is seen. The kind of target market that you're looking towards seeing your brand, or the type of business and clients that you're looking to attract, are only attracted by the kind of brand message that you're sending out. So you also need to be very authentic and understand, what is my brand message? What am I trying to tell people? What am I trying to be seen as? What is the perception that I'm trying to send out? And once you can understand that, it's very easy for you to then be able to say, okay, you know what? These are the kind of content that I'm going to curate because this is the brand message that I'm trying to send out. And once you've been able to do that, it's easy to then start building content from there and attracting the crowds that you're trying to attract. The next thing that you also need to note is you need to use hashtags. Hashtags are very important in gaining a wider view, because even people that are not following you or people that are not aware of your brand, when you use general and common hashtags that they would usually search for, it's easier for them to see your post and see your brand. Another thing that hashtag does for you is that it gives your post a wider spread. Like for me, I might put up a post and even the amount of people that like my post are not even people that are following me. But because I use the right hashtags that are in specifics to the brand message that I'm trying to send out and I'm targeting the right crowd, they come on my page, and if they like what they see, they follow me. So hashtags are very key to gain wider audience and broader audience. You don't need to overdo it. Just put like 10 hashtags is fine. 10 to 15 hashtags is fine. I don't like too much hashtags because then it just makes you come off desperate. So use specific hashtags, but not too much. Just choose the ones that you feel like are more relatable and would identify with your crowd, and then use them on your post to get a wider view and a wider audience seeing your post. The next thing that you need to also take note of is your captions. Your captions need to always send a particular message out. So don't just randomly put captions. Captions are one of the few things that people take for granted, but they're actually very, very, very key in growing your personal brand. So what do you caption? What do you say every time you put up a post? Do you look for captions that are engaging? So the key is to use captions that actually engage. Like, I would usually ask questions, or I would put up captions that I know that people will be able to respond to. That's also really beautiful because then you're having conversations with the people that are following you, and that way people are engaging with your post and engaging with your comment, and you get more visibility. Your algorithm goes up. So it's good to put up captions that maybe questioning captions, or captions that somewhat engage or tell a story, or somewhat like just speak to your audience in a way that they can also comment back. Don't just leave your post bare, or except you're like a celebrity like Beyonce, you can just post and not put up any caption. But if you're trying to build your social media page from scratch, then make sure that your captions are engaging captions that people are tempted to like comment or to like engage back with you. Ask a question, put a post that, or reference something, just make sure that your captions are always engaging in such a way that people respond back. Don't just post and not put a caption, or don't just post and put a very bare caption. Make sure that your captions are very engageable. Yeah. The next thing into building your social media page and your personal brand is also to tag the brands that you want to work with. So whenever you put up anything that is in relation to any brand that you actually want to work with, make sure you tag them so they can come to your page and see your post. And if they like your content, who knows, they might reach out to you to work with you. Make sure you keep tagging them, send them emails, tag the brands that you want to work with, curate contents that are really nice and attractive for those brands, so that when they come on your page, you can also see that, oh yeah, you've been creating content in relation to them already, and they reach out to you to become an influencer or a curator for their brand. The next thing to also note when you're starting as a content creator or an influencer, or just generally just trying to build your Instagram, is be authentic and be consistent. I cannot emphasize how important it is to be consistent. If you post today and then you post 10 days later and you post 20 days later, you're not consistent, your algorithm goes down because people are not used to when your post is going to come up. If you're consistent and let's say you post 7 p.m. every single day, at some point, even Instagram would understand that you're posting by this time. So your posts become visible every time by 7 p.m. So more people are seeing your post, more people are liking and engaging with your post. Make sure that you're consistent with your timing, you're consistent with the post that you put up. I know it's easier said than done, and it's hard sometimes to create content. But if you need to grow your page, then you actually need to be consistent. Because when you're inconsistent, you lose people, you lose attention. People are not like used to when or how you're going to come up. Your crowd needs to know like, oh, she's going to post something by this time, because you're consistent. So consistency is very key in growing your brand identity and growing your personal brand, and even just growing your Instagram or any other social media page, be it YouTube, be it Twitter, just be consistent in how you post. Thank you guys for joining me again today. I always post on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. So if you're not subscribing to my page just yet, don't forget to do that. If you found this video helpful, make sure you share, like, and subscribe. Thank you so much. Until next time. Love you guys.